with one of my group breaks right now currently being a 24-25 Mosaic Mega box or case break with 12 teams remaining, by the way. We're on Fanatics Live. If you want to head over here and buy yourself a team, there's a lot of teams available. I figured we should go over the 2024-2025 draft class and talk about how these teams might be feeling about their picks, and what teams have realized they made a mistake and how they could have gone differently. What could teams look like right now if they made different decisions? Let's just say that. Risacher at number 1. If Risacher can get them Anthony Davis, I think that they would be happy that they took Risacher number 1 no matter what. But I will say, if you are a guard in basketball right now, and if you're a GM and you're choosing between building around Stephon Castle for the San Antonio Spurs or building around Trae Young of the Atlanta Hawks, I think you take Stephon Castle. I think Castle's a bigger guard. He's got not the better playmaking necessarily, but more defensive-minded, better body for the NBA, honestly, being that 6'5 frame as opposed to a 6'1 frame. I think most people would say I'm building around Stephon Castle more than I'm building around Trae Young right now. So hypothetically, if they were to replace Castle with the number 1 overall pick, they could probably get more for Trae Young than they are getting in the Zachary Risacher trade. So just for that take, I would probably say that the Hawks regret not taking Stephon Castle number 1. But I don't even remember a lot of people that felt like Stephon Castle was the number 1 overall pick in this draft. I know a couple of people, podcasters I watch, had them as their number 1 prospect, but I would say Stephon Castle, likely they are regretting not taking it with the number 1 overall pick. Now, I will say Alex Sarr asked to not be a member of the Atlanta Hawks, so he was kind of off the board all in all because he said he doesn't want to even go there. I think Alex Sarr would have been a great fit next to Jalen Johnson throughout the year. Now, I will say them having Porzingis and Onyeka Okongwu, that would have created a lot of, whatever that is, too many people there. But I would say Alex Sarr, Jalen Johnson front court would have been beautiful. But Alex Sarr to the Wizards, I don't think they made the wrong pick at number 2. I think the Wizards had too many guards all in all that they would have been trying to build around. And there was a clear number 1 best player in this draft class to me, and that was Alex Sarr at the time. He's been a mix of a power forward and a center so far. Still finding his footing. Reminds me a lot of a younger Bam Adebayo, but he's way more willing to shoot the ball, which I kind of like, but definitely a worse defender. He's one of those guys that by the time you're giving out max extensions, if a Jabari Smith got a max extension, if a Franz Wagner got a max, well, Franz Wagner's good at basketball, but some other guys probably wouldn't get max extensions. He will get one. Alex Sarr is a guaranteed second extension with the Washington Wizards, so don't blame him for wanting to go to Washington. They're right now building around him, Keyshawn George, Trey Johnson. Now they have C.J. McCollum, Chris Middleton, and they're good veterans, but you know the drill. Reed Shepherd at 3. Man, would the Rockets love Stephon Castle right now. All in all, they would love Stephon Castle. I'm not even saying Reed Shepherd's a bad player or the wrong pick either way. But man, would you love Stephon Castle if you're that. Now, I will say the Rockets are missing shooting. That's kind of their main thing is their shooting. Because they run Jabari Smith out there, they run Kevin Durant out there, but a lot of time Amen Thompson's running the point guard. A lack of shot creation from the point guard position. I think Stephon Castle is like one of the best up-and-coming players in all of basketball. So because of that, you just have to be regretting not taking Castle over Reed. But for what they need as their 6th man right now, I think Reed Shepherd is a good pick and will continue to be. Spurs hit the jackpot. We went over there. I'm surprised that the Pistons took Ron Holland over Matas Buzelis. I was surprised when it happened. I'm still surprised right now. I thought Matas was better on the G League team. I thought he was better against professionals. And I think he's been better in the league. Maybe that's a bad take according to NBA teams, but I think if the Pistons, as opposed to having Ron Holland coming off the bench right now, had Matas, who I think could fit better in his role, because Ron Holland being a non-shooting forward who's supposed to be this defensive athletic guy, when you have Asar Thompson, isn't as impactful as a guy that's more of a shot creator and confident shooter in the mid-range area. I'm going to be honest, I haven't watched a lot of Ron Holland on the court. I haven't watched too much Pistons. I watched a lot of Cade and Duran minutes and highlights, but I don't watch a lot of like their bench rotation. I bet you both of these teams right here are regretting their picks. The Hornets have to be. I know Tejan Salon on paper looked like the power forward to put next to guys like Brandon Miller, LaMelo Ball, now Con Knipple, but man, if I even look down, Zach Edey, Donovan Clingan, Kel'el Ware. I mean, I think all three of those guys would have been better picks for the Charlotte Hornets at this current moment. I know they're starting Ryan Kelkbrenner. Now it's Moussa Diabate's been starting at their starting center. Salon's been okay. He's been playing better minutes. It's finally starting to give them a couple more double-digit games if you're seeing in here, but he's averaging, 7, 4, and 1. Not what you expect him to be at this point. And now he's only 20 years old. Younger guy, Tajon Salon. He has the ability to turn into a possible Jalen Johnson-esque. Sounds good. I'm going to drop the Suns to $20 for you right now. Good deal done. Let's go. $20 on the Suns has been updated. Appreciate you big time, DM Cal. Man, Tajon Salon just not turning into the power forward right now. I think they'd be expecting to start him over Miles Bridges, but Miles Bridges still not a bad player. 20 points per game. If Tajon Salon can learn how to play behind Miles Bridges, I think you could have an okay career. He's got to make it to that second contract, though. That's the most important thing. Clingan's been a little more underwhelming this year than I expected him to be. He hasn't. Maybe it said he hasn't played as much. He went through. I swear he went through. No, he hasn't been injured at all. I was wrong. I thought he went through a little stretch. I guess it's just the Blazers have been so injured this year that it's been inconsistent, but. I mean, he does exactly what you want him to do. He gets points in the paint, he gets rebounds. 10 and 10 is exactly where you expect Clingan to be at this point in his career. Starting center for the Blazers. Definitely going to be a guy that sticks around with the Blazers. I think he's a little bit more developed than Zach Edey is right now. But I also think Clingan's physique is a little bit more durable with NBA game than Edey's is. Edey's too much of a giant sometimes. Clingan plays within his restraints. So I like Clingan. I think that they made the right pick there. They needed their center of the future. Clingan was definitely the guy if you were going to take a center in this draft. Rob Dillingham looks to be one. I don't know how to think of Rob. To this minute right now, I still don't know what to think of Rob because they brought in Bones Highland and low-key in the same exact role as Rob Dillingham. Bones Highland was playing better basketball. But at the end of the day, Rob Dillingham was picked 8th overall, traded from the Spurs for 2 first-round picks. Mind you, great trade, by the way, by the San Antonio Spurs to trade Rob Dillingham for 2 first-round picks while Wemby is in his prime. I mean, that's a look ahead to 2030, 2031 great trade. I love stuff like that. Hi, Rachel. But Rob Dillingham at the 8th overall pick, I really like it right now. I just don't know what to think about him in Minnesota. He feels like one of those guys that's going to, make his way around teams and keep getting like these bench pieces, but I feel like he's never going to really find his real role. But when I look at the other players, like Nikola Topic afterwards has not played a basketball game yet. Devin Carter for the Kings has not really played impactful basketball. Bub Carrington's been good, but only because the Wizards had nobody else to play for a year. Cody Williams for the Jazz was terrible. I could even go. I guess Jared McCain would be the pick, right? You'd want a Jared McCain over any of those guys I just named right now. But it's really because McCain just showed for 20 games that he was good. Any of these guys have a good 20-game stretch, and they could be the top guy in this kind of stretch from this draft class because I'm not seeing a lot of names that I feel great about in this 2024 draft class. I think Jacoby Walter's a good player, but he also plays within a lot of restraints. He has to play next to Grady and Quickly and RJ and Ingram, so his off-ball ability is kind of tough. Jalen Tyson, a lot of Cavs fans I know really love Jalen Tyson that I follow. I've seen a lot of talks about his shooting form and just how good it is. I don't know, that's what Cavs fans tend to say. So Jalen Tyson, maybe the Cavs are happy with that pick. Yves Messi's fallen out of the rotation for the Pelicans, so that's like eh. Ryan Dunn, Isaiah Collier. Not a lot of guys in this draft class that we're saying are going to be, long-term starters here. But my steal of this draft, and he's been so good. Kel'el Ware out of Indiana, and then I believe he did play a little in Oregon too. Kel'el Ware, starting center next to Bam Adebayo, has completely changed the entire direction of this Miami Heat team. Completely changed the entire direction of the Miami Heat. 12 points, 10 rebounds, 55% from the field. He's a good shooter. He can stretch the floor. He can shoot the 3 ball. Let's see here, 3 for 6 from 3, 2 for 4, 5 for 7, 6 for 7, 4 of 5. Kel'el Ware's a good player. He can get rebounds. He allows Bam Adebayo to run that free safety kind of defensive roll around while Kel'el Ware dominates the paint. I think that has changed the entire outlook of the Miami Heat offense and defense this season. 7 foot, 250, athletic, 15th overall pick. So impressed with what I've seen out of Kel'el Ware this year. That would be my steal of the draft. A team like the Lakers would love Kel'el Ware. A team like the Magic would be so happy with Kel'el Ware right now. The Raptors, with no Jakob Poeltl due to injury, would be so happy with him. The Suns, I think, would want him. So a lot of teams I look at that if Kel'el Ware didn't go, even the Kings. I mean, Maxime Reynaud has been pretty good, but man, Kings could use it. In the second round, we're seeing some good names. Tyler Kolek, White Boy of the Year here in New York City. We love ourselves some Tyler Kolek. Johnny Furphy, traded to the Indiana Pacers, but I know our guy Ian over at DA loves him. AJ Mitchell. Low-key had a great start to the season this year, AJ Mitchell, for the Oklahoma City Thunder. He was their main backup shooting guard. He's been impressive. Lefty main secondary ball handler who's good at shot creation, good at playmaking, has learned behind the Oklahoma City Thunder guys, and who would have thought the champions build more champions? Jalen Wells was like really high up in Rookie of the Year voting, so that's a steal of the draft for Memphis, but I will say they always have these forwards. When is John Morant not going to be the number one guy? When is Jaren Jackson not going to be the number two guy? Because these guys are not championship caliber players in the roles that they're in. Pele Larson was starting a lot for the Miami Heat. I think he was traded to the Miami Heat, or he was dropped and the Heat picked. Oh yeah, the pick belongs to the Heat, so he was drafted by them. Pele Larson, starting shooting guard while Tyler Hero was out for a while. Quinton Post plays a lot of valuable minutes for the Warriors. Trust me, I see too much Quinton Post for my liking until he's hitting his threes. Then I can't lie. I love me some Quinton Post when he's hitting his threes, because then he's just what we always wanted our center around Curry and them to be. But when I'm looking through this draft class, not in names I feel very, very in love with. Kind of funny because a lot of people did view this as a weaker draft class, and then I saw a lot of people arguing it, saying there's going to be steals. I agree there are steals. Keyshawn George, steal. Ryan Dunn, good player. Jacoby Walter, good player. Jeremy Kane, good player. We talked about Kel'el Ware, modest, good player, but at the end of the day, I think we're going to look at this draft class and say there's a lot more busts than there are really, really, really good players.